Question. You're asking for government funds to start a school in the bush, 10 miles out of Sydney.
Yes.
But it's all there in the application. We're building a big classroom. We're providing board and lodging for the teacher, and we already have a very capable teacher in the person of Miss Delia O'Brien, who's teaching there already.
She's excellent.
There are only 12 names on the list. Look, the Government Act of 1866 clearly states that a public school can only be established when there are 25 children in attendance. Well, here in the cities, there's hundreds of children roaming the streets, sleeping in the gutters and on the docks, Sydney, because there's not enough room in their racket schools and church schools. No, afraid you'll have to take them elsewhere if you want them to get an education. Have you tried the Catholics?
Catholics? It's not the last you'll be seeing of us.
I'll bid you good afternoon, sir. Come on, lads.
I could not believe they would refuse. Here I was, offering a schoolroom and a teacher with their own accommodation, and they refused to do anything for us. Not enough children, they said. I told them some other children would be coming over from Cornell in a rowboat, but they still refused to help. They needed 25 names to start a school, and we only had 16, even with the Chinese children from the vegetable garden.
Poor Michael. He was so disappointed when he came home. It had been such a struggle for him to get an education in Ireland.
I don't remember who suggested it at first. Perhaps it was little Ellen. Why don't we ask the Aboriginal children?
Miss Delia was very brave. Ellen and young Thomas and Miss Delia went down to the native camp in the valley to see King Billy. When Miss Delia suggested that some of the children come to the watchtower to school, some of the parents objected, afraid their children had been stolen. Some Aboriginal children had been taken away by missionaries who wanted to bring them up like white children. So we didn't blame them for being fearful.
Oh no, nothing like that. You bring your children to the tower, just there, every day, and you bring them home every afternoon. Noma, you want to go to school, don't you?
It was Queen Emma who saved the day. She had been taught to read and write by the missionaries.
23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul.
So she managed to convince the parents that the children would be safe and would go home every day.
We can have the school? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Come along, Ellen. We'll tell Michael. He's so happy. Come on.
So back we went to the education department with a list of 25 names. The Education Council agreed to supply desks, slates, pencils, blackboard, pens, ink bottles, and a cupboard. They also agreed to pay the teacher, Miss Delia.
The missionary ladies came out with an assortment of clothes for the Aboriginal children to wear to school. They had great fun trying on the dresses and pants, but they didn't like the shoes. After all, their people had never worn shoes, so why should they?
All right, children. Who knows your times tables? Very good.
Miss Delia managed the school very well at first, but as time went on, she became very run down.
Are you ready? 2
times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 6 is 4.
The school inspector thought that living in the country did not agree with her, so in 1873 she left us.
And so say all of us. And so say all of us. And so say all of us.
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. And so we sing all our hip hip hooray! Hip hip!
The next teacher was Miss Mary Doyle, and she clashed with Michael from the start. She was not Irish, and she was not Catholic.
The first thing that Mary Doyle did was to replace the picture of the Virgin Mary with Queen Victoria. And I said nothing about that.
Who's that then? Is that your mother?
That is Queen Victoria, you fool.
Oh, cranky looking old cow, ain't she?
I am your new teacher, Miss Doyle. And I won't stand for any nonsense from you filthy, uneducated little brats. Good morning, children.
Good morning, Miss Doyle, and may God bless you.
Ah! What's this God bless you business? This is not a Catholic school. We do not say that in public schools. In public schools, we pay homage to the leader of our great British Empire, Queen Victoria. And she is not a Catholic. Queen Victoria is the head of the Church of England. And you will pay respect to the mother country and to the flag. I love England.
I love England.
I honour my queen.
I honour my queen.
And I salute the flag.
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 Right. All that. You, 100 times, I must not thumb my nose at the flag. When you thumb your nose at the flag, you are thumbing your nose at Queen Victoria, the illustrious head of our great empire. You are a part of the British Empire. Do you understand? We will now stand to attention and attempt to sing the British national anthem. 1, 2, 3. God save our gracious Queen. Long live our noble Queen. You are not singing. You don't know the national anthem?
But when I heard her trying to teach the children to sing the British national anthem and salute the Union Jack, I thought it was time to interfere. She didn't last long.
I won't have it. The Irish are the curse of the colony, a treacherous lot. Take the Irish away and our lives will be safe.
The next teacher, Miss Charlotte Marshall, was such a fusspot. She always wore fashionable hooped skirts and the latest bonnets. Every morning she checked the children's cleanliness. She was appalled at their bare feet, dirty fingernails and runny noses.
Have you your handkerchiefs? Good morning, children.
Good morning, Miss Marshall, and may God bless you.
Now, for your morning hygiene. Nose drill. Handkerchiefs ready? Big breath. Blow. Wipe. And again. Blow. Handkerchiefs away. In your pockets. Up your bloomers if you haven't pockets. Fingernail. Oh, remember, tomorrow bring those back washed. Fingernail inspection. Oh, you must have clean hands. Remember, cleanliness is next to godliness. We shall do some arithmetic.
Charlotte Marshall was treated as a figure of fun by the boys. They played the most dreadful tricks on her, bringing blue-tongued lizards and snakes to the school just to hear her scream.
No shoes. Head lice. Most of the children behave like uncouth savages.
Charlotte Marshall couldn't handle the children. They were much too wild for her. I certainly couldn't help her. I was much too busy having babies.
Your companionship. I cannot stand it a moment longer.
The next teacher was a beautiful French lady called Perouse Adrian. She taught the children to speak French because the district was now named La Perouse, after the French navigator who had sailed into Botany Bay a few days after Captain Philip.
The children loved Miss Adrian. On Bastille Day, she took the whole school to the grave of Father Receveur, the first Frenchman to die on Australian soil.
Bastille Day, July 14th, 1875, was a very important day for the school at La Perouse. Miss Adrian had invited the French ambassador and His Excellency the Governor, some bishops and clergymen and other important people from Sydney town for the occasion. Even Sir Henry Parkes had arrived. This really put our school on the map and began a long tradition.
It gives me great pleasure to be here this afternoon, and I have a very important announcement to make. As from today, this entire area is no longer to be called Botany Heads, but in honor of our great French explorer, the entire district is to be renamed La Perouse. And to mark this special occasion, you may all have the rest of the day free.
Yes, but first we should go to visit the monument at La Perouse, and we should also go to visit the grave of Père Receveur. You will sing with us La Marseillaise.
Aux armes citoyennes, formez vos bataillons. Marchons, marchons, vers un empire, un brave océan.
When Miss Adrian resigned to get married, the education department sent our first male teacher. His name was Jonathan Benson. He was always late, as he rode his bicycle from Redfern every morning through the bush.
Daddy.
He was not popular. He was toll-free with the cane.
You dare to hit my son? If you ever lay a finger on any of my children again, I'll tail him from the...
Then there was an outbreak of smallpox, and the school was closed for a time.
Children sick, baby die.
It looks like an epidemic of diphtheria. The bats are dropping like flies. It's very contagious. I'm afraid we're going to have to close down the school. Children, go home. Off you go.
As there was no teacher, I wrote a letter to the Education Council suggesting that my daughter, Ellen, might be suitable as a successor. She spoke fluent French and was an excellent scholar. This was approved, and in 1878, Miss Ellen McDermott became the new teacher.
Then are you sure you can manage? Should we stay with you?
No, you go.
We were so proud when Ellen became headmistress of the school.
Very great pleasure to introduce to you the Premier of New South Wales, Sir Henry Parkes. This is indeed a great day. After the school has been closed for so long, it is most gratifying to see it being run so efficiently by such a very young lady, Miss Ellen McDermott. This school has recently been inspected by the Education Board, and it gives me great pleasure to inform you that it has been graded one of the best run schools in the colony. Now that we have built the wonderful new university in Sydney, I want to inform all you boys and girls that education is for everyone, and that it is education and education alone
future for this colony. I can assure you that this school will be held up as a model school for all the world to see how races of all colors and creeds can live and work together in perfect harmony. And if you will all make the most of your opportunities, you can all rise to positions of power, honor, influence, and responsibility.